So, good afternoon. I am Jefferson A. Calderon, and today I will be conducting an interview about grammar and to fulfill my activity. But before we start, can you please state your personal details?
Hi, my name is Maurice, age 14, grade 8.
Thank you. Then, let's start. Number one, name a grammatical error or mistake you often make in a written communication. You may provide an example.
For me, most often, grammar mistakes occur when you construct an incorrect sentence. For example, if you mix up two commonly confused words, or if you string two independent clauses together without an appropriate conjunction, those are grammar mistakes.
Mm. And how about oral communication? You may also provide an example.
From what I saw, a common grammatical mistake for people is for the pronouns and nouns to disagree when with dealing with singular and plural examples. The straightforward rule is that singular pronouns must go with singular nouns and plural pronouns must go with plural nouns.
Mm. Can you identify the grammatical error or mistakes immediately or not?
In my opinion, I can immediately identify it, but most of the time it may be tricky to spot it. In a sentence, some grammatical errors can fit well in regular sentences, so it will be hard to identify it.
Mm. So, do you make self-correction or other person does?
Of course, I make self corrections. Without self correcting, the people communicating with you will not understand what you're saying to them.
Mm. Um, how do you improve yourself to create grammatically correct utterances?
I believe that reading is one of the secret weapons to improve your grammar skills. When you read, you will come across different grammar rules and they will naturally reinforce correct grammar usage in your head or mind.
So, what is the importance of grammar teaching and learning for you?
Grammar is a very valuable tool. Besides being the groundwork for good communication, grammar is useful to learner in many different aspects. These include job opportunities, study opportunities, social skills, and boost of confidence plus more.
So, that's all. Thank you and have a nice day. Hello, I am Jefferson A. Calderon. Currently studying at University of Eastern Pangasinan and taking the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. And I'll be conducting an interview about grammar to fulfill my activity. But before anything else, can you state personal details about yourself?
Hi, my name is Glenford Payon, 17 years old, grade 12 students of Mataas na Paralang ng Silvan.
Okay, so let's start. So here's the questions. The first question is, name a grammatical error or mistake you often make in a written communication. You may provide an example.
I often make the mistakes of using the wrong tense when I am writing. For example, I might write, I have went to the store instead of I went to store.
And how about in oral communication? You may also provide an example.
So a common grammatical mistakes I often make in an oral communication is using the wrong tense. For example, when I am speaking, I might say I go to the store yesterday instead of saying I went to the store yesterday.
Can you identify the grammatical error or mistakes immediately or not?
So it depends on the level of experience and knowledge of the person. For someone who is experienced in grammar and writing, they may be able to spot some mistakes quickly. But for someone who is new to grammar, it might take a bit longer to identify any errors.
Do you make self corrections or other person does?
It depends on the situations, but generally, it is the best to make self-corrections. This is because if someone else corrects you, it can make you feel embarrassed or put you into the spot. Making your own corrections shows that you are aware of your mistakes and willing to learn from them.
Mhm. How do you improve yourself to create grammatically correct utterances?
So the best way to improve your grammar is to read and write as much as possible. They will help you to become more familiar with the rules and conventions of language you are studying, and you will be able to apply them to your own writing.
So, for you, what is the importance of grammar teaching and learning?
So knowing the fundamentals of grammars enable us to communicate better and more clearly. It helps us to be better understand what we read, write, and say. It also helps us to avoid making mistakes in our writing, which can make a bad impression to others.
Okay, that's all. And thank you for your response. And thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day. Hello, good day. I am Jefferson A. Calderon, and today I will be conducting an interview about grammar to fulfill my activity. But before anything else, can you state personal details about yourself, ma'am?
Hi, I'm Trisha May Pasagaudian, 19 years old from Campo Rosario, La Union. Second year college taking BS Ed English.
Okay, thank you. So let's start now. Here's the first question. Name a grammatical error or mistake you often make in a written communication. You may provide an example.
One of the grammatical errors that I often make is using wrong form of a verb. For example, I have wrote a letter when it should be I have written a letter.
How about in oral communication? You may also provide an example.
One grammatical error I often make in oral communication is incorrect conjugation. For example, I often find myself saying I run, which is RUNNED, instead of I run, which is RAN.
So next, can you identify the grammatical error or mistakes immediately or not?
No, it's not always possible to identify grammatical errors or mistakes immediately, depending on the complexity of the sentence. It can take time to identify the errors and mistakes. For example, if the sentence contains multiple clauses and long phrases, one may need to break the sentence down into smaller parts in order to identify any errors.
Do you make self corrections or other person does?
Depends on the situation. If you are in a classroom settings, the teacher will likely make corrections when you make mistakes. However, if you are having a conversation with another person, they may not correct your mistakes and it may be up to you to correct yourself.
Okay. Then, how do you improve yourself to create grammatically correct utterances?
One of the best ways to do this is to read more. Reading exposes you to different types of writing, which can help you learn the correct grammar and syntax. Additionally, it helps to practice writing every day and have someone else review your work to provide feedback.
Yes. So, for you, what is the importance of grammar teaching and learning?
Grammar teaching and learning are important because they help us to, to understand the structures of language and to communicate more effectively. Grammar also helps us to recognize and avoid errors in writing and speaking, which is essential for both formal and for informal communication.
Okay, that's all. Thank you for your response, ma'am, and have a nice day.